Will you hurry up so I can do my makeup before work?
Hey guys. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. It is Rachel here today, starting off our little rainbow series. So we're obviously starting off with red. So if you're interested in how I created this look, then just keep on watching. So to start off, I'm just going to go in with my Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is the original one. It doesn't have a tint. And I'm just going to prime my eyelids with that. I already did like a little bit of concealer like under my brows. But I'm just going to prime my eyes with this to start off with, because I find that this is kind of a holy grail shadow base for me. My eyeshadows don't crease, they don't skip, it's just an all-around a good base. So I have quite a few palettes here today that I can use. I'm going to use this one for the mirror, this Huda Beauty one, but it does have some nice, like, it's got some like red tones in it. But I have my Tarte palette with all my Coastal Scent shades in it, which has this red and then this random like kind of burgundy we got in a palette, or in a Ipsy bag, I think. So I could use those. I have the Profusion Confidence palette, which is really crusty, but it's got a lot of warm tones in it, a lot of reds and oranges. I have the Morphe Jaclyn Hill, which has mostly for the red shimmers is what I was looking at, but it does have some nice matte reds in there as well. And the James Charles Morphe palette because of the reds in here. So I'll probably stick a lot with this palette. However, I do find it's a little bit trickier to blend. So I'm going to go in with this palette to start with, and then if I need to, I'll branch into other palettes. So just to start, I'm going to go in with this red shade right here. It's like the red orangey shade. And I'm going to put that in my crease. And I'm going to use the Luxie 121 mini tapered brush for that. And I'm just going to kind of pack it in there. So we've got a nice base to start with. But I'm just going to be careful because I don't bake my eyes. So I don't really want like a ton of fallout that I can't wipe off. So I'm just going to press that in my crease and kind of have it rounded out for the most part. And just with the same brush, I'm going to start lightly buffing it out using, circular motions and like windshield wiper motions. This shade does blend, it doesn't blend away, but it does blend a little bit lighter, which is fine just because I have a lot of darker reds I need to go in with. And do not fret, we will be blending it out more than that, but this is just to start with. Next, I'm just going to use this little Profusion brush I got in one of the palettes. I'm going to go in, let's see, I'm going with the shade Secure from the Profusion palette. It's another kind of orangey red. I think it'll go really good with the red we just placed down. I'm going to use the fluffy side of this brush and just lightly grab some and blend out the shadow we just used a little bit further. And I want to be careful, I don't want this to get too neutral, but I am going to go in with this like warm brown at the very top in the center here and buff out the edges as well. I don't want to go too hard with like the warm neutral colors because I want this to be a really fiery red look, but I do want to blend it out a little bit further with something that's not completely red. And I'm focusing that at the very top. It's just going to create like a nice gradient for the eyes. You want it to not have an ombre effect, but you don't want any harsh lines. Oh, and I am using a Morphe M573 blending brush for this. And using that same Luxie brush in the same color from the James Charles palette we used earlier, I'm just going to smoke that under my lower lash line to keep the shape I want so I don't kind of get like lost when I'm working on my eyes. And I'm going to go in with this red here from the James Charles palette, the more vibrant one, and use that same Luxie brush This one's got a little bit more of like a pow to it. It's like a true red. So I'm gonna focus that just the same place I focused the orange red, like directly in the crease. This one I have had some trouble blending in the past, but today I'm having a pretty decent blending day, I would say. So I'm not too worried, but just know this James Charles palette does have a little bit of patchiness if you're not careful, but you can use any shadows that you own. And then I'm going to go back in with that Morphe M513 in that warm brown shade we used earlier and continue to buff everything out. And then I'm going to go in with a mix of some of these like deeper browns and blacks over here on the outer corner, just to kind of get some depth in this look, because you can only go so deep when it comes to reds. I still want it to be vibrant, but like I need a little bit something. So I'm gonna go in just with a mix of like a couple of the deep browns on the same Luxie brush. I really enjoy this brush. And place that on the outer corner. And then I'll probably add a little bit of black as well, because there is so much shadow on my lids. That it's hard for these like warm browns to stick on top of the red. Take that brush as well with those little colors and run it directly on the outer corner, just to kind of blend the top and the bottom. And then back in with that Morphe brush and blending over all of that. And so I couldn't figure out where I had a true red shimmer, and then I remembered in the Morphe Dare to Create palette, there's this red right here. So I'm going to place that all over my lid. I'm going to try with a brush, but I don't know how that'll go. So I'm just going to use the other side of that Profusion brush and pick up that red and pray for no fallout, and pack that on the lid as well as I can. It's not that shimmery, but I think it'll have to do. And then I'm also going to take that same brush and kind of place this on the lower lash line as well. Same place I did on the top, just kind of like swipe it right there. Just to keep like the brightness going, because it kind of, you know, after adding some depth, it kind of turns it into more of like a, I don't know, like a warm brown red smoky eye, you know, like a cranberry eye, which is pretty, but not what I wanted. I want something pretty bright and fiery, so I feel like this kind of tied it together. And then I do have this NYX liner in Oxblood. This is the faux black liner. This is really beautiful for red looks. I'm just going to place that in my waterline. For my inner corner, I'm going to go in with this little highlighter here in my, just my little Z palette. This one is from Ciate London. I'm not sure what it's called. It's got a little magnetic thing on the back, so I can't see the name. But I'm going to pop that in my inner corner with my Morphe Jaclyn Hill JH39 brush. Because it's a nice, you know, pretty pink. As much as I love like grungy inner corners, I feel like with this look I want something bright. And I might use this highlight on my face as well, because I don't usually use pink highlights. I usually use gold with red looks. But a pink would be, I think a pink's pretty fun. And I wanted to do like bronzer, blush, and highlight on camera just to kind of show you how to kind of meld it into the skin, like with the actual eye look. So like, you know, blush tones, you want to go for like the blush tone of the look kind of thing, you can definitely do that. This nail polish is a mess, oh my god. But for bronzer to start with, I am going to go in with my BH Cosmetics Studio Pro palette. This is my favorite bronzer palette at the moment. I still love my MAC Give Me Sun. Wet n Wild has a new bronzer that's almost an exact dupe for Give Me Sun. So I would run out and get that, but I'm going to use a mix of No, I'm going to start out with this color here, this warm one. This is just, it's a really, really pretty, like, I don't want to say pukey brown, but that's kind of the vibe it gives me. It's just, it's really gorgeous for like warm skin. Oh, and I'm applying that with my Jaclyn Hill 02 brush. And with this palette, it can go on a little bit patchy because it's super pigmented, but all you have to do is blend it. I mean, I don't have a problem with it like staying patchy, just when I place it on, sometimes it'll look patchy. And for contour, I'm going to use my BH Cosmetics number 3 brush. I have a hair, ew, and this warm shade right here because it is a little bit more of like a red toned bronzer. I think it'll tie really well with the look. Just be careful because it's hella pigmented like I have stated. Just going to take the excess and kind of run it down the sides of my nose to keep some warmth there. And just go back in with my bronzer brush and make sure it's all blended out. Oh no! I have red fallout all over my nose. Do you see that? Oh god. Well, what can we do? I take my foundation brush, this little Jaclyn Hill one. I'm just gonna touch over it. You know, there's a little bit, but it's not too bad. We're good now. I'm not stressed anymore. So do your eyes first if you would like. I just personally enjoy doing my eyes last because I set my face, my eyelids crease insanely and it's really annoying, so I don't want to deal with that. But before blush, I'm gonna highlight with that same Ciate London highlighter here. Just, you know, strobe it up. I'm trying to be nice and shiny as always. This is definitely a lot more of an icy highlight than I'm used to, but I think it is really pretty. I just typically go for highlighters that are almost too dark. I feel like I got like Instagram model highlight on right now. For blush, I'm going to go in with my Narsissist Wanted To cheek palette, and this shade right here, it looks super intimidating, and it is, but it gives you the kind of like, the look of like a sunburn in a way. It's really pretty. I'm just going to use a light hand with this in the Jaclyn Hill 06 brush and put it on here. I find that this blush looks really good with like warm toned looks because it's pretty, you know, hot fire. It's not like a peachy blush, it's just super like pink and I don't know, like a sunburn. It's so pretty. So I'm just kind of buffing that in, and it's gonna be a little intense, but I don't really care because, you know, blush is the first thing to fade, so just kind of buffing that out. I'm just going to go in and set my little eyebrows with my Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer in soft brown. I've been using deep brown lately, but I actually filled in my brows a little bit today, so I don't want them to be too dark. But since I haven't been filling them in, deep brown works really well to like keep my brows like there. So this brow could use a little bit of work, but I'm just going to leave it for now because I can't be bothered to update it. I'm just going to throw on some mascara. This is the Wonder Beauty Volume and Curl Mascara. Just prepping my my lashes for falsies. I don't think this mascara is anything special, but it's very thin, and I don't like thick lashes when I'm wearing falsies because it's hard to get off. And honestly, I don't think you need falsies with this look. I think it's actually really pretty without them, but I'm gonna put on falsies. I'm just gonna throw on, these are some Violet Voss lashes. I'm not sure what the style is. They're not my favorite lashes in the world, but I don't really want to put on TL Mitchell's because they're pretty freaking intense and, again, sensitive eyes. So I'm just gonna throw these on. And then we can do lips. I'm not going to do a red lip because I don't think I'm going to like that look. It's going to be too like monochromatic and like, oh, I'm red, you know? So we'll kind of debate. So for lips, I'm going to go with this Colourpop Ultra Satin Lip in the shade Prim. It's all rubbed off, but it looks like a pretty color, so we're gonna attempt this. So if my lip line is all the way out here, no, it is the fault of a dark lip. So yeah, that completes this this nice little red smoky look here. Let us know if you've got any like not requests for colors, but like the style you want to see with the colors, like a yellow cut crease or, you know, a halo eye or whatever. Like just let us know what you're thinking, and if you're kind of interested in this series, or if you're like, you can skip over this color, nobody cares about it, you know, whatever. But thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.